You know how self-driving cars are always shown off in like these perfect California settings?
Right.
Sunny, no traffic, perfect lane markings, all that. Well, today we are taking a deep dive into some videos you sent in that are the total opposite of that.
Yeah.
We're looking at Tesla Toby's channel and his adventures with FSD beta, but not just anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Boston.
Oh, Boston, yeah. Talk about a reality check for self-driving.
This is like hardcore mode, right? We're talking narrow streets, aggressive drivers, potholes, probably older than I am. This is where we see if this self-driving stuff is the real deal.
You really get to see the rubber meet the road, so to speak.
Totally. So no more hype. Okay. We're cutting through it.
Yeah.
What can FSD actually do in 2024 based on what we see in these videos?
And I think that's what makes these videos so fascinating. It's like a peek behind the curtain of what this AI can really do.
Okay, so let me jump into one that blew my mind, right? Picture this. Toby's car is parallel parked on this street. Tight squeeze, cars going by in both directions, and then...
Well, there's always an and then.
They're IS. Another car decides to double park right in front of him, blocking the view even more. I'm getting stressed just describing this, and we all know what a nightmare that is for new drivers.
Absolutely. That's a recipe for a fender bender.
But FSD doesn't even flinch. It pulls out like it's nothing. No hesitation, no jerky movements, just smooth sailing.
Yeah, I got to hand it to the engineers. Moments like that really highlight how far this tech has come. I mean, that maneuver, judging the speed of the oncoming cars, figuring out how other drivers might react.
Yeah.
That's some next level stuff.
Right. It's like the AI is actually reading the flow of traffic, not just following some lines on a map, which, let's be honest, is a little freaky when you think about it.
It does make you wonder what this kind of technology could do in, let's say, more predictable environments.
So yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But okay, before we crown FSD the king of the road, let's talk about another moment that caught my eye. You know, highway merging, the bane of many drivers' existence.
Oh, yeah.
Even I get a little tense doing those. But the way FSD slots itself into that fast lane,
Seamless.
like butter.
And it's more than just reaction time, right? To nail that merge, the system has to predict what those other cars are going to do. Speed, trajectory, the whole shebang. That is a ton of data to process in real time.
Seriously. And it made me realize FSD isn't just following the dotted lines anymore, you know? It's showing signs of actual spatial awareness. Like it can understand where it is in relation to everything else around it.
It's that move from simple rule following to what we call probabilistic decision making. A big step towards real autonomy.
But here's the thing that really gets me. If this AI is so smart, why is Toby always grabbing the wheel?
Right. That's the big question, isn't it? And it kind of highlights the biggest challenge for self-driving cars right now. Mm-hmm. Getting AI to understand the human side of driving.
Because let's be real, driving isn't just about following the rules, right? It's about all those unspoken rules you only learn from years of, well, almost crashing alongside other humans.
Exactly. You can't just program that stuff, you know. And one place you really see this gap is in how FSD handles risk.
Oh, yeah.
It's cautious, like super cautious, to the point where it seems almost scared to a human driver.
Oh, tell me about it. There's this one intersection, right? Toby's basically waving his hands like, go, go, go. And FSD is just frozen there like a deer in headlights. I swear I could hear the AI whispering, better safe than sorry.
And that's the thing. That hesitation, as annoying as it might be for us humans, it shows how different their priorities are.
Yeah.
FSD is programmed to avoid any chance of a crash, no matter how small.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to take a calculated risk like a human driver would.
So it's not that FSD doesn't get the rules of the road, it's that it's taking them a little too literally.
Exactly. It hasn't quite figured out the difference between a situation that's technically dangerous and one where a human would just, go for it.
And this disconnect, this whole caution versus confidence thing, it comes up with those FSD hallucinations too, right?
Oh yeah, the ghost streets. In one video, FSD freaks out about a street that's not even there. It starts planning a turn, slowing down, the whole 9 yards, for a road that exists only in its digital little world.
Makes you wonder what happens when the map data is wrong, It's like it trusts the digital map so much that it forgets to double check with reality, which is kind of terrifying if you think about it.
Well, yeah. You've got this multi-ton machine making decisions based on phantom roads. That's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So what's the solution?
Well, that's why these real-world tests are so important. They show us where the limitations are, where the AI still needs to learn and adapt.
So it's not enough to just have great software. It needs to be able to learn from its mistakes, those hallucinations, and adapt.
Precisely. Just like a human driver, it needs to be able to say, okay, I messed up, that street wasn't there, what do I do now?
So can it? Can it actually learn that way?
That's the million-dollar question. And the answer, at least for now, seems to be sometimes. In some of these videos, FSD catches its own mistake, corrects itself, and just keeps going like nothing happened.
That's both impressive and a little creepy, right? Like, is this thing learning in real time? And if it is, what's it learning? Who's teaching it?
And those are the questions that keep researchers and, frankly, everyone else up at night. Because as cool as this technology is, it's still a bit unnerving to think about machines that can learn and change their own behavior, especially when those machines are driving us around.
I mean, it's like we're trying to teach a computer to think like a human, but even we don't fully get how we make those split-second driving decisions.
Right. It's instinct, experience, all this subconscious stuff going on.
Exactly.
And that brings us to what might be the most important takeaway from these videos.
Okay.
The human driver is still absolutely essential. Even with all the fancy FSD tech you can see, Toby is not just along for the ride. He's watching, he's anticipating, he's ready to grab the wheel if things go sideways.
It's like that trust but verify thing, right?
Yeah.
Except here it's more like engage but be ready to override. Haha.
Exactly. And it really highlights something important that gets lost in all the self-driving hype. We're talking driver assist systems, not driver replacements. At least for now, and probably for quite a while.
Which, honestly, after seeing some of those FSD moments, is kind of reassuring. As cool as this tech is, I don't know if I'm ready to just hand over my keys to the AI overlords.
I hear you. These videos are a good reality check. They show how far we've come, but also that human drivers aren't going extinct anytime soon.
So where does this leave us? What's the big takeaway from our deep dive into Tesla Toby and Boston FSD?
I think it boils down to this. The future of driving isn't about humans or machines. It's about humans and machines.
Like a partnership.
Exactly. Humans bring the experience, the adaptability, the ethical judgment, all that good stuff.
And the AI.
AI brings the precision, the processing power, the potential to eliminate human error, which, let's face it, is a big one on the roads.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, that balance where humans and AI can work together.
And these videos, with all their impressive moments and those, wait, what just happened, moments, they're giving us a glimpse into what that future might look like.
The good, the bad, and the, did that AI just hallucinate a street?
Exactly. It's a journey, and it's just getting started.
Well said. And on that note, we turn it over to you, our listeners.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this? Has your perspective on self-driving cars changed after seeing FSD tackle the wild streets of Boston?